Hi everybody, welcome to Mark's Backyard Birds. Today I've got a real pleasant set of videos for you of Eastern Bluebirds at our window feeder that have discovered the mealworms that I put out for them. And today, they're feeding on the dried mealworms because we ran out of live ones. But put the dried ones out this morning, and my goodness, did the bluebirds respond! We have up to 3 babies that are going to be coming in here, and the whole series is really pretty hilarious to watch. How the babies are reluctant to feed themselves. They want those adults there to be able to beg from, and we're going to see how Dad is a lot more gullible than Mom is. She is unwilling to give the babies the mealworms. She points down to them and she gets them herself, but Dad, of course, picks them up and hands them to them when they're begging. So he's a little more gullible. But you'll notice that these bluebirds are very spotted when they're young like this, and this is where you can really see the similarities with robins. They are both members. Now look, we got 3 babies at the feeders at once here, fledglings, if you will, and the spots on them are reminiscent of the American robin babies right now that have spots on their chest. And once they molt, they will get the full blue on their back and the reddish on their chest. And of course, the females are more gray, just like the robins will molt out of their spots. But those spots are probably better camouflage when you're a young bird, so it helps you to survive. So these guys are actually feeding quite successfully on their own, eating the mealworms, as long as there's not an adult around to beg from. They're feeding themselves, and this is part of the learning process that takes place for up to 2 weeks after the bluebirds leave the nest. Now, people ask a lot, how long do the birds live? Well, remember, most birds die in the first year, because it's a dangerous world out there, and you got to learn survival skills like this. And when you feed dried mealworms, I always tell you that it is so important to have a water source nearby. And this, as you can see, just below that mealworm feeder is my bird bath on my deck, and the bluebirds are taking advantage of it. That source of water is important because remember, these dried mealworms. Oh, look, chickadee's come in. He's going to get his, and he's going to sneak away with, because the bluebirds will run him off if they catch him on the feeder. So he's got to be quick in there. But yeah, so the source of water is incredibly important when you're feeding dried mealworms. So here are the 2 more of the young ones that have come in, and notice they're feeding just fine without Dad or Mom there. One of these seems to be a little needier than the others, as he's trying to get a piece of mealworm from his brother or sister there, and kind of chasing around rather than going in and getting his own. But he'll figure it out. They do have to learn. I mean, this is the informative months or weeks for bluebirds, and they have to learn those survival skills, and feeding on free sources of food are really important. And of course, part of that is Mom and Dad are taking them out into the bushes and trees and teaching them how to eat caterpillars off of leaves, and out of the grass below, and how to hunt. But this is a lesson in free insects for them. I did start them with live mealworms. Oh, here's Mom. And notice her, this tough love. The baby's begging and begging and begging, and she just looks at him and points at the down below. It's like, oh look, I can eat one. You can eat one. Here, you eat one. I'm not going to give it to you. You got to pick it up on your own. Oh, Mom, give it to me. Give it to me. Ah, Mom. Nope. She said, nope. I'm going to eat another one. Figure it out on your own, buddy. But you'll notice as soon as they leave here, and Dad comes in with them, he is far more gullible. Here's Dad. Oh, he ate one for himself, but look at him. Look at the baby. He's begging. Dad says, "Okay, here you go. Here's one for you." So look, this is where I got it from, dude. Just reach down here and get yourself. Here's another one. Okay, so Dad definitely is definitely more gullible than Mom is when it comes to feeding them, and that may sound familiar to all of us. just a fun video. This just took place today, and Melanie and I grabbed the camera and set it up and tried to film as much as we could. Oh, here comes another baby. Two. They're both begging Dad. Yep. No, come on, Dad. Give me one. Give me one. Please, 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 give me one. Dad's like, come on, guys. You got this. And they'll do this for, like I said, up to 2 weeks, and then those babies are on their own, and Mom and Dad will start the nesting process again, and they'll raise another brood, the 4 or 5, and these guys seem to be nesting just to the west of or maybe to the north of our house. They're over in a little patch of trees over there, so they've got a natural cavity. Well, that was fun. Hope you enjoyed it.